Yes, my lord.
Merlin had secret lairs, towers.
On my way.
Merlin had secret lairs, towers, and dungeons all over the land. After taking back Bedford from the possessed armies, you learn that one of Merlin's secret hideouts is right here, deep in the forest. It looks like an ordinary blacksmith shop, but don't let appearances fool you. The blacksmith's old workshop looks like a tomb. 3 steps lead down to the entrance, a big stone door. You leave your army behind and walk downstairs. You see 5 levers in the wall made of different materials and a sign. The last one is next to the golden. The brass one comes earlier than the sapphire, and first one is next to it. The one in the middle is the neighbor of the wooden one. The golden one comes later than the brass.
A few moments later.
You have pulled 1 lever. The sign on the wall says, the last one is the neighbor of gold. Brass precedes sapphire. The first is the neighbor of sapphire. The one in the middle is the neighbor of wood. Gold follows brass. You have already pulled 2 levers. The sign on the wall says, you have already pulled 3 levers. The sign on the wall says, the last one is the... You have already pulled 4 levers. You pulled the last lever, but nothing happens. Maybe the sequence was not right. You do not forget the fact that if you want to get to the secret of the blacksmith, you have to know the legend of Sir Brandon. You push the levers back and try it again. You see 5 different levers in this order: brass, gold, sapphire, wood, and silver. You have pulled 1 lever. The sign on the wall. You have already pulled 2 levers. The sign on the wall says you have already pulled 3 levers. The sign on the You have already pulled 4 levers. After pulling the 5th lever, you hear a click and the noise of stone on stone. The stone door slides to the side and you enter the workshop of the blacksmith. Nothing implies that magical items were made here once. The workshop is old and the equipment is poor. You find a cape though, which is clearly magical. You remember that a cape like this was mentioned in the lore of Sir Brandon. You find a ring in the chest. This must be the magical ring of Sir Brandon, which the legend tells of. You take it and close the chest again. The door opens onto a short corridor which leads to another room. It is completely empty, but there are 2 doors at the other end of the room. You see a picture of a maze over the first one and a straight corridor over the other. You start to think about why anybody would choose the maze over the straight corridor. The air is warm and arid in the corridor, and it smells of fish and salt. It feels as if you are sailing on a sunny sea. There are 3 directions to choose from at the first crossroads. Soon you reach another junction. 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 Finally, you reach a massive oak door at the end of the labyrinth which opens onto another room. The room is only 4 steps long, and you see a strong oak door at the end with a drawing of a maze above it. There is a crystal-walled stone pedestal filled with some kind of liquid. You see 3 vats below with handles. Each one of them contains a scroll. After turning the handles, the lid may be lifted, but then liquid will fill the vats and the scrolls will be destroyed. If you turn them one by one, only the first 2 will fill up, but the 3rd one remains unharmed. You have to decide which scroll to save. You turn the handles one by one. The first 2 vats fill with liquid, and you see the maps dissolve in 2 heartbeats. After turning the 3rd handle, you open the lid that uncovers a map of the maze, with signs indicating traps and secret doors. With the map in hand, you enter the maze. You keep on deactivating traps and finding hidden doors, until you find Sir Brandon's magical sword in a secret chamber. In the end, you manage to get to the last room. There is a big fireplace along one of the walls. You see a key hanging in it on a chain over magical flames. This must open the only door out. There is a sign over the fireplace. The hunger of this fire can only be quenched by magic. You put your hand into the flames, but they don't burn you, although you feel your magical defenses growing weaker. You grab the key and quickly pull it out of the fire. After opening the door, you walk into a library. The shelves are empty. The only book you can see is one covered in leather on a pillar. You have found the secret knowledge of the magical forge. You take the valuable book and leave the maze.
Your father's incurable wound would probably have killed him, were it not for the ancient magic of Bedegrain Forest. Sadly, the wound keeps on drawing on that magic, and the forest is shrinking rapidly. But there is a positive side to this. The receding twilight has revealed several ancient ruins from the time of legends. They are likely to hold untold treasures, my lord, and I strongly believe that you should explore them. I've marked them on your map.
In Merlin's secret workshop maze, you found some rare scrolls, one of which described the whereabouts of an ancient tome. This tome is a highly prized treasure in the eyes of the monks of Medisham. However, the library that contains this tome is deep in the Fomorian-infected regions of the south. The Regent of Medisham is dedicated to maintaining the growth of his province, even in the face of constant Fomorian threats. Unfortunately, he lacks the necessary financial means. If you were to invest in his plan, your diplomatic relations would surely benefit, and you should expect a return on your investment as well. Although magic has left Bedegrain Forest, the twisted woods of Penguin still hide abandoned settlements of the Sidhe. Irresistible lure to adventurous souls who would risk all to possess the treasures of their former keepers. King Aldrith has neither the time nor the resources to explore these wondrous ruins, but he might be willing to allow your knights to enter the gloomy forests. For a price. King Sinric's youngest.
Ready to serve?